Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be sharing a bunch of Dollar Tree Valentine's Day DIYs. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a heart emoji down in the comments below. It really helps my channel out. Now let's begin.
For this DIY, you're going to need a planter. I'm using one of the jumbo planters that you're going to find in the plus section for $5. I decided to spray paint my planters a light pink color. Next up, you're going to need a pool noodle. You're going to create a handle for the planter. When I cut the pool noodle, I cut both ends in an angle. This is going to make it easier to stick to the planter. Hold the pool noodle in place as you wait for the glue to completely dry. Now I grab a couple of more pool noodles. I'm going to be cutting these pool noodles down, creating circles that are going to go inside of my planter. I use tape to attach both ends of the pool noodle together, creating these circles. I make a small, medium, and large circle and then tape all of those circles together. There will probably be a hole where your smallest pool noodle is. You're just going to shove some pool noodle inside of that hole to cover it up. Now I'm going to be using spackle, a piping bag, and an icing tip to create a whipped cream look on top of that white base. You can always just use the pool noodles if that's what you want to go with. Dollar Tree carries spackle. It's just a small container, so you're going to need quite a few of the containers. To get the most out of your spackle, I recommend placing your icing tip right against the pool noodle. That way you're not using too much spackle in each area. I got these conversation hearts from Dollar Tree. I'm going to place one inside of the spackle, and then I got these wood beads from Dollar Tree that I thought would be perfect to look like fake sprinkles, so I'm just going to be placing them into the spackle. Now originally I decided to just go with one conversation heart, but then I decided that it would look better with more, so I added a green one to this. Now I grabbed some ribbon and I glued it around some leftover pool noodle I had. This is going to be a straw that I'm going to place inside of my jumbo drink. Finally, I glued a conversation heart to the front of my planter, and then I painted the handle, and that's how I made this jumbo mug using a planter from Dollar Tree. I made something similar for Christmas, and I was standing outside multiple times where people were driving by my house complimenting the jumbo drink. This is so cute, and I'm going to be using these two outside to decorate for Valentine's Day. Home Goods this year is selling this heart cake stool that is selling out pretty much everywhere. I have not been able to find it, and I can find it online for almost double the price that it is at Home Goods. So I'm just going to DIY a jumbo fake cake. You're going to need some large boxes for this DIY. I got this 3-pack of large nesting boxes at Hobby Lobby for $12.99. I also picked up pink craft foam from Hobby Lobby that is 99 cents each. I'm going to start off by placing the bottom of my box onto my craft foam, tracing around it, and then cutting those circles out. I also traced the sides of the box. Technically these aren't sides because it's a circle, and then I just cut those pieces. I do it for all 3 boxes. Now I'm going to take my largest box and I'm going to glue it upside down to the lid of that large box. After that, I glue the craft foam to the larger box. On top of that, I glue my medium-sized box and then my smallest box with the craft foam. For my fake cake, I'm going to be using spackle, a piping bag, and an icing tip. You can always use ribbon to get a icing look, and I'll show you guys that more so at the end of the video. You can always put some paint inside of the spackle to change the color of the spackle to be a color that you want to be on your fake cake. So once I've got my color, I'm going to start piping out the fake icing onto the cake. Now the reason I decided to use craft foam instead of all spackle is this will get very, very pricey if you decided to make a large one of these with nothing but spackle, and on top of that, it does look sloppy unless you practice a lot. So if you don't have experience with spackle, using craft foam is going to help give you a much cleaner look to your cake. I got some fake cherries. I'll link them down below for you guys. I'm going to place those on top of the cake. And then I got some pearls from Dollar Tree and pearl stickers that I'm going to glue to the cake and stick onto the cake just because I felt like it needed a little bit something else to it, and I really liked how it turned out. And that's how I made this jumbo fake cake. Now I know I didn't use Dollar Tree products for this particular DIY. I don't really do non-Dollar Tree DIY videos, so I decided to include it in this, but you can make a smaller version of this using Dollar Tree products. Get their small boxes, get some of their cardstock, and then their spackle. Obviously this isn't a stool. I never use my Home Goods stools as stools. I use them as decor, and that's why I wanted a jumbo cake. I can use this for Christmas. I can use it for events. This is absolutely adorable. It's not a Bargain Bethany holiday video if I do not make a candy bar. So I got some wood crates from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be gluing them together. I used wood glue and a little bit of hot glue. Hot glue just attaches them right away. Now the other 3 crates I have, I glue them together upside down to the ones that are in the front. And then I got this wood plank from Dollar Tree. It's very thin and easy to cut into. So I'm just going to cut into it and glue that on top of the back crates. Now go ahead and paint your wood. I want to say that this is inspired by Chic on the Cheap. She did something similar to this a couple of years ago, and I thought it was such a brilliant idea to take a hot cocoa bar and transition it for Valentine's Day. I got some wood heart stickers that I'm going to stick to the front of my crates, and then I got a kissing booth sign from Dollar Tree that I'm going to glue to this, but the way I'm going to have to glue it down is by using some popsicle sticks. So I glue the popsicle sticks to the back of the sign and then glue those sticks to the crates. I've made so many hot cocoa and candy bars in the past, so things are going to be a little bit different with this one. I'm just not using crates and crates alone. So first off, if you're going to be putting any open food inside of your crates, you want to make sure you line the bottom with something, because this isn't food safe if you just use spray paint or acrylic paint. And here's where I'm doing things a little bit differently. I got these mini candy jars with lids that I'm going to fill with candy and place on the back of this. It ends up looking like a little candy shop. So I decided to go this route because I've seen this done so many times with just the crates. So I'm like, what can I do to make it a little bit different? And I really like the way that this turned out.
Let's stop the video for a moment and let me know down in the comments below what type of Valentine's Day decor you like to decorate with. Obviously, I like a pink sweet theme. I like to lean into the sweet side of Valentine's Day rather than the red and the hearts, just because, you know, obviously I love me some sweets. But let me know your favorite way to decorate down in the comments below for Valentine's Day.
For our next DIY, you're going to need a basket from Dollar Tree and poster board. These are the smaller baskets Dollar Tree carries, but you can also use the laundry baskets. Lay your basket against your piece of poster board and then trace out the height. You want to figure out what it is and then cut that out. For the smaller basket from Dollar Tree, I just needed one piece of poster board that I cut into 2 pieces. Then I take the pieces I cut and I fold them back and forth as if I was creating a hand fan. Now I'm gluing the poster board to my basket. I'm only gluing it onto the top part of the basket, not along the wire of the basket, just the top. After you have the poster board glued down, I would go in with some more hot glue, making sure that it's nice and secured from the top. Now you're going to need pool noodles. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pool noodle, place it over the basket, and figure out how big of a circle you're going to need to make so that it can go directly on the basket. So then you're going to cut off any excess pool noodle that you do not need. Then you're going to take the ends and tape them together, creating the circle. And you're going to do this multiple times until you have enough pool noodles that make it look like frosting on a cupcake. So I ended up making 4 of these circles. The very last one I recommend getting help with because it's kind of hard to push the small circle down. Once you have all your circles, you can then glue them onto each other. And this is the thing, after I did this DIY, I uploaded it to TikTok, and a lot of people were telling me not to glue the pool noodles down, instead put something in the basket. So that is an option. I had 4 circles, and then I grabbed an extra piece of pool noodle I had on hand and I pushed it through the center of the smaller circle and glued that into place. I did this so that I could put a balloon from Dollar Tree inside of there, and I didn't want to glue it in there because I want you to be able to remove it, so that was the better option. This is supposed to be a jumbo DIY gift. You can also use it as decor. This is actually going to be a photo prop eventually for me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place candy on top of this, and to attach the candy, I'm using balloon glue dots. I was using things like Hershey's and Hershey's Kisses, and it was wrapped, and I didn't want to use hot glue and have the hot glue damage the wrapper and then get to the actual candy, so I used balloon glue dots instead. I also got some lollipops. Those I was able to push through. If you want to add something like a plushie, what you'll do is get a wooden dowel from Dollar Tree and zip ties. You can also use this method with other items. Now, the reason you'll do this is so that the item you're placing in there stays in place. If you try to use tape to attach a plushie to this, it's just going to fall right off. Using the zip tie and the wooden dowel will keep it in place while you move this around. I ended up getting these hard picks from Dollar Tree. I pushed them through the pool noodles to make it look like sprinkles. If you want to use full-size candy bars, all you have to do is get wooden dowels or bamboo skewers from Dollar Tree and tape them to the back of your candy, and then push those skewers through the pool noodles. You can always get stickers and cutouts from Dollar Tree to decorate the poster board. I love these so much. Like I said, I'm going to be using these for a photo shoot, and I did upload this video first to TikTok. That's where people said don't glue the pool noodles down so you could put something inside of the basket. For this DIY, I'm going to be using the tinsel hearts from Dollar Tree. You can buy these in bulk on their website. However, I am not the biggest fan of ordering from Dollar Tree's website because you have to buy so much. I wanted some pool noodles. I needed to buy 72 pool noodles in order for them to ship to me. What am I going to do with 72 pool noodles? If I threw them in a pool, it would just be nothing but pool noodles. And on top of that, I would need a pool to do that. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. You're also going to need some zip ties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hearts and I'm going to start lining them up to create an arch. So what you want to know is you want to know the height and the width of your arch and lay out your hearts accordingly. So I'm kind of alternating between the purple and the pink hearts, and I'm just stacking them like directly on top of each other, and then I'll go in with some red hearts eventually. I think at this point is when I'm going to start curving for the top of the arch. I don't have a cameraman, so you guys get amazing angles of me. Anyhow, this is when you're gonna take your zip ties and you are going to start zip tying all of your hearts together. So there's just like little wire pieces, and that's where you will be able to attach everything. And I recommend using a good amount of zip ties, so at least 3 at the bottom to make this like really stiff. Dollar Tree carries this decor piece that's 3 smaller hearts, and you can unattach them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just unattach a few of these and use the hearts all around this.
When I recorded me making this arch, I had every intention of putting the arch outside. However, since I recorded this, it's been cold outside, -degree weather, it's blizzarding, so I haven't been able to stick it outside. Instead, I ended up putting it indoors. I just used command hooks to hang this, and I again have 3 different pieces that hang. And if I would have did this outside, I would have just had 3 different pieces to break down and put together. This was one of the more expensive DIYs that I made. It was 22 items, so that came out to $27.50 plus taxes. However, to buy this, it would cost more money, and to have it made would cost a lot more money, even to rent it. So to DIY it myself, I'm pretty proud of it, and it ended up looking really cute indoors. I am going to attempt to do this outside. If I do that, I'll upload it to TikTok.
For this DIY, you're going to need some foam board from Dollar Tree and some of their gift boxes. Now, this is my favorite DIY that I've ever done for Valentine's Day. First off, paint your gift boxes different shades of brown. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to draw a heart lightly on top of my foam board. I'm then going to cut that heart out. I'm using a utility knife to do this. You want to use something that's sharp like a utility knife, an X-Acto knife. You don't want to use scissors. Using scissors, you're not going to get a nice sharp edge. Once you have that heart cut out, place it on top of another piece of foam board, trace around it, and then cut that trace out. You just want 2 hearts that are pretty similar. Now in the middle of one of the hearts, you're going to cut another heart shape. This is going to be the front of the box that we're making. The best way to do this is cut only half of the heart, then take that cut out, flip it around, trace it, and then cut the other half of the heart. That way you can get it as even as possible on both sides. Now grab your boxes and lay it on top of a piece of foam board. You want to figure out how deep you want your box to be. Once you figure that out, you're going to cut off some pieces that are going to be the sides of your box. If you're really big into crafting, I recommend having an L-shaped ruler. It helps you get really nice, clean cut edges. You're going to take these foam board pieces that you're using for the sides and bend them around. What this is going to do is make it more pliable so that you can bend it around the heart and keep its shape. You can then start gluing down all of the sides. Now hold them in place as you wait for your glue to completely dry. And then I recommend taking more hot glue and using it to seal where 2 pieces of foam board meet. I didn't mess with the length of the sides, but the top of the heart and the very bottom of the heart, I had to make small little pieces. After the sides are glued down, you can glue the front of your heart box. Try to center it as best as you can before you put the heart down, because once that foam board hits the hot glue, it dries really quick. Now I'm going to use gold poster board. What I'm doing is I'm cutting out some pieces that I'm then going to fold as if I'm making a hand fan, and this is going to be the wrapper for my candy. Once I have those pieces cut out, I'm going to glue them to the lid of my boxes. I only have to put glue on the bottom of the poster board that touches the lids. And once I have that glued down, I then can push in the boxes. After you've done this, you can start gluing the boxes inside of your heart box. I recommend placing them inside before gluing and figuring out where you want them to be placed and make sure that, it fits all nicely inside of there. Now I grab some white paint and I paint some swirls on top of what's supposed to be chocolate. Now this is inspired by the Creative Hearts Studio Lily. I will link her down below for you guys. She did this amazing balloon heart chocolate box, and I was so inspired to try it with Dollar Tree products, but make it where it could be a gift and not done with balloons. So 100% shout out to her. If you love balloon art, please check her out. It's an amazing account to follow. Now I got some gold poster board border, and I'm going to glue this to the inside of my box, I just cut some pieces and glue it to the inside front of the box. I just feel like it looked much nicer this way. I don't recommend painting your box. If you decide you want to add color, use poster board. I've said it a bunch of times on this channel. Dollar Tree poster board, when you paint it, it morphs. It only doesn't morph if you're painting tiny little pieces. If you're going to be giving this away as a gift, now is the time to put your gifts inside of the boxes. And if you want to, you can add a ribbon to the front of this. I ended up cutting the ribbon so that it would go straight. If I would have left it the way it was going to go in this weird angle. So cut it and then tape it down. Then I glued a bow to the front of this. The bow I made out of poster board. This part is completely optional. I got some decorative shred from Dollar Tree and I decided to glue it inside of the box around the candies. I just felt like this looked much cuter. That's how I made this jumbo heart chocolate box using Dollar Tree products. This is my favorite Valentine's Day DIY ever. You guys know I love the heart cakes that I make, but this one, after I made it, I was just like, oh, I'm so in love with it. It is a great gift, a great piece of decor. It would also be great for a party or event as a backdrop. And the small little gold one you see there, that one was made out of one piece of foam board. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to love this DIY. Grab some foam board from Dollar Tree. You will be cutting pieces with a razor to create a rectangular box. I have an L bracket that is 24 inches long and 16 inches wide. I just lined it up with my poster board and cut within the bracket. So the front and back pieces of my box are 23 inches long and 15 inches wide. Then the side pieces of my box, I just cut off the extra foam hanging to the side of where I cut the front and back of the box and use that. Don't get rid of the extra foam board. You're going to use all of it. I traced the heart very lightly on the front of one of my pieces of foam board and then I cut that heart out. I got some red poster board from Dollar Tree and I'm going to use it to create a border for the top of my box at the front and then a little heart for the front of the box. I glue the poster board to my foam board and then I start to glue the box together. I make sure wherever two pieces of foam board meet, I put extra glue where they meet to make this super secure. I found this conversation heart door banner at Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut pieces that I'm going to glue to the inside of my box toward the back. Now I got some conversation hearts from Amazon. You can use the Dollar Tree foam board to create conversation hearts or their craft foam hearts to create them. I, however, did not feel like doing this because this was the very last DIY I had made in this video. I was so over making things at this point. I want to add height amongst the hearts I'm gluing to the inside of my box. To do this, I take the extra foam board I have on hand and cut little pieces that I stack on top of each other, and this will create height amongst each heart. I grabbed the pencil and wrote sweethearts on this. Then I went in with a paint pen to outline it. I was going to use the paint pen to fill it inside, but that got annoying real quick, so I just ended up using acrylic paint. So now I grabbed a piece of foam board and I cut off a piece that's just kind of curved. I'm going to go ahead and glue hearts to this. So first I stack the hearts and figure out where I want them to be placed, and then I glue them down. Now here's what's happening. I'm going to hang the box off of my wall upside down so it looks like hearts are pouring out of it. To hang it, I'm using command strips. Name brand command strips are my favorite adhesive strips to put things on the wall. I used 4 on the back of this and I pushed this against the wall. I ended up moving it from the spot it was in my house just because it didn't make any sense near that shelf. To hang the hearts, you'll do the same thing, just use command strips. And then I ended up gluing some hearts coming out of the bottom of the box. You can always leave that part open if you want to and glue hearts coming out that way. I just didn't know what direction I was taking this in at first. And that's how I made this sweetheart box that is so freaking adorable. One of my favorite DIYs ever, and it's inspired by Turtle Creek Lane. She always decorates her house so nice, and I took this screenshot of some decor she had 2 years ago, and I've been wanting to make this ever since. For next DIY, you're gonna need pool noodles from Dollar Tree. If you can find ones in the colors that you already want, I recommend getting them in those colors. What you're gonna do is cut off about 2 to 3 inch pieces from your pool noodles. I've been getting a lot of questions about that knife block you see right there. It's from Walmart by Paris Hilton, and I'll link it down below for you guys. It's around $48. Grab a pair of scissors and cut into the top and bottom of your pool noodle pieces in an angle. The angle doesn't matter. You just want to get pieces that look like beads that are on a candy necklace. And this DIY is 1000% inspired by Karina Joy. I will link her down below for you guys. I saw her make this candy necklace and I knew I had to recreate it. And when I saw this, it had my name written all over it. So 1000% inspired by Karina Joy. After all the pool noodles are cut, you can paint the pool noodles that need to be painted. I didn't have to paint the pink ones. That's why I said if you could find it already, the color you want, that's perfect. I got some DIY wood hearts from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue 3 of them together because I wanted a thicker heart. If you just want to use one of these, you most definitely can. After I have them glued together, I just painted a light pink color. After everything is dried, get some string and start stringing everything together. I start with the heart and then put the pool noodles on the side of the heart. Then tie the ends of your string together. I actually left more string on the ends just in case I wanted to hang this like a piece of garland. And that's how I created this candy heart necklace that I am obsessed with. Again, thanks to Karina Joy. If you love fake sweets, you need to check her out. Her entire house is decorated how my dream house would look. This DIY is so easy. You're going to need one of these candy jars from Dollar Tree and these scalloped candy containers from Dollar Tree. Place the scallop container upside down and then glue the candy jar on top of that. I recommend getting the larger candy jar if you can find it. This is supposed to look like a gumball machine. To give it the details of a gumball machine, I'm using craft foam that I got at Dollar Tree and glitter paper. I'm just cutting out a heart shape and then a little circle and a knob for my gumball machine and gluing that into place. I used a Sharpie to write 25 cents on the circle. Now it's time to fill the inside of your jar with some goodies. So I would do candy, a little teddy bear from Dollar Tree I think is great. Dollar Tree also carries spa day items, toys. You can put whatever you want inside of there. I just feel like this is a good option. I want to decorate underneath the candy jar, so I got the gift bow ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm just gluing it underneath there. I just think it looks really nice doing this. And I ended up taking the glitter paper that I purchased and cutting out some pieces that I placed on top of the lid because I felt like making that red made it look more like a gumball machine. This is so easy to do and make such a great gift. I ended up making 2 of these, and right now Dollar Tree is carrying these wrapped candy plastic containers. They only fit very small things like Hershey's Kisses and Starburst. It has to be small. Anything larger than that, it doesn't fit. As you can see, this is a quick, easy and inexpensive Valentine's Day gift. I feel like this is something that you can make and also sell. It's a perfect gift to give to somebody, whether you know them well or you don't. I remember the DIY gift ring pops were all the rage last year, so I wanted to do another DIY that has that sweets theme but isn't repetitive and doing the same thing, and I feel like this achieved that. It's so easy. For our next project, you're going to need a laundry basket from Dollar Tree and some ribbon. You're going to start weaving the ribbon in and out of the laundry basket. This is going to give it a much more pretty look than just a laundry basket. Now fill the inside of your basket up with some gifts. I wanted to dummy up the bottom, so I used a throw blanket that I got at Dollar Tree for $5. I added this teddy bear from the Dollar Tree Plus section, and then I'm going to use some balloons with this. I got a bunch of balloons at Dollar Tree. You can get as many or as little as you like. I'm going to wrap it around the balloon holder so that I can make this a little bit shorter. I want it to look like my teddy bear is flying away and holding the balloon. So I zip tied one of the hands of my teddy bear to the balloon so it looks like it's holding onto the balloon. And then I filled this up with some more goodies like a box of chocolate, some roses, and a bottle of wine. And this is just such an easy and thoughtful gift. The main thing you need is the laundry basket and ribbon, and after that it's up to you what you want to put in the inside of this. I do like the balloons because it makes it look more put together, but it's so easy to do, you guys, and so thoughtful.
For this project, you're going to need these trays from Dollar Tree and some trifold poster board. I spray painted my trays brown. Then I take my trays after they dry and lay them on the poster board. I measure out how much poster board I need to cut off so that it could fit perfectly behind my trays. And then I just go ahead and cut that out. I cut out another piece that's similar to the one that I traced out. Then I cut what little poster board I have left over in half. Now I'm going to glue the little trays on top of the poster board. I glue it on the brown side. I actually ended up spray painting
painting my trays on there, so that helped cover up the brown. If you're using hot glue, don't line all the back of the tray with the hot glue because it's going to be hard to pick up and you're going to burn yourself by touching hot glue. Now take the second piece of foam board you cut out and glue it to the very bottom of the tray that's going to be sticking out, and then add more trays on top of that. Now the trays you add here, you actually don't really have to spray paint them because they end up getting covered up. Hindsight's 2020. I didn't realize that. I flipped this over and I used the 2 small pieces of poster board I have left over to make this more stable. So I glue it where the 2 bigger pieces of poster board meet, and then I take the other piece and I glue it behind the 1 piece of tray that's sticking out at the bottom. Now I got some foil gift wrap from Dollar Tree and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of this to be the wrapper of my candy bar. Now I want to credit 2 different people for this DIY. The first is CLASHCREATIVEHOME. She created this jumbo chocolate bar as a backdrop for her selfie land, and I took this screenshot on November 12th because I was like, I could make that using Dollar Tree products. But then I saw WAVERLYVIENNA make it using Dollar Tree trays, and she did such a good job. So I really want to make sure I credited both ladies. Please check them out, especially if you love jumbo sweets, DIYs, or inspiration. I used my Cricut to cut out some vinyl that says chocolate. You can always get the poster board letters from Dollar Tree and use that if you do not have a Cricut, and just glue it down to the foil. If you get something that's a color and you can't find white, you can just flip it around because usually the back of the letters are white. Now these jumbo ones I made as a prop, but if you want to make the chocolate as a gift and you don't want it to be so big, you can spray paint 2 of the trays and then fill one of the trays up with some gifts. Then take your other tray and you're going to glue it to the 1 tray, but you're not going to put glue all around. That way this is easier to open, or you can use tape as well. I got some red foil for the bottom of this piece of chocolate, so you'll just pretty much do the same thing. Cut out a piece that you're going to tape around your chocolate bar, and I painted chocolate on the front of this one. I didn't use my Cricut. That's how I made these jumbo chocolate bars. They are so cute. I've made so many jumbo candies that I'm going to be using for my daughter's first birthday party. It's going to be a sweet ones theme, so these are going to come in so handy. It's just absolutely precious. I know this might not be everybody's cup of tea, jumbo candy, but I mean, it's so cute, and just a small one, it makes a great little gift. During Christmas, I made this nutcracker using Dollar Tree products that went viral on TikTok and Instagram. I knew I had to make a Valentine's Day version of this, so you're going to need 3 baskets from Dollar Tree. I'm using the smaller baskets this time, but if you use laundry baskets, it's the same thing. 3 baskets. Now you're going to glue all the baskets together. 2 of the baskets, the tops are going to be touching, and then 2 of the baskets, the bottoms are going to be touching. I'm going to be more detailed with this nutcracker DIY because people from TikTok and Instagram had a hard time understanding how to make the nutcracker correctly because the videos on there are only a minute long, so I could be more detailed here. For the legs, you'll use foam board from Dollar Tree. You can bend the foam board to make it easier to roll. Then you'll roll the foam board. You're rolling the longer way, not the shorter way. Once the foam board is rolled, glue the foam board together. If you're having a hard time getting the foam board to not unroll on itself, use zip ties at the top and bottom of the foam board. Now for the base, I'm using this plate that I got from Dollar Tree. I will say this is the one thing I regretted with this DIY. I recommend using a pizza pan. It's much more stable than this plate was. So what I'm doing is I'm gluing my foam board to the plate, but like I said, I would use a pizza pan, and you just do the same thing. Glue your foam board to the pizza pan. After my legs are glued, I put more glue where the foam board and plate meet. Now it's time to glue your baskets. All you have to do is put glue on the top of your foam board and then place the baskets right over that. For the body of the nutcracker, I'm using poster board. I'm going to start with a white piece of poster board that can be wedged between the 2 bottom baskets. I had to cut down the poster board to be wedged there, but if you're using the laundry baskets, your poster board uncut will fit perfectly between your 2 laundry baskets. Wedge and then wrap your first piece of poster board. To keep it in place, you can use tape, and then wedge and wrap your second piece of poster board, and again you can use tape here. This is where I saw people struggle and go wrong. When you're gluing the jacket, the shirt of the nutcracker, you aren't supposed to glue the poster board to the wire of the basket. If you do that, you end up with this triangle shape. It's really hard to do. It doesn't stay put. You're only gluing the poster board where the 2 laundry baskets meet. That very middle piece where the top of the laundry baskets meet, that's the only area you put glue. So you'll put glue on one side and add your poster board. To make this easier, I recommend grabbing your second piece of poster board, taping it to the piece that's already glued and then continuing to glue that next piece of poster board down. For the arms, I just rolled some poster board, creating a cylinder shape, and I glue those arms to the side of my nutcracker. Didn't do this with my laundry basket nutcracker because it's so tall you can't see this, but because this one's smaller, I decided to cover the basket. I just used a plate here. With the laundry basket, it's so tall that you can't even see the laundry basket. Now for the head, I'm using a piece of craft foam I got from Hobby Lobby. It's the thicker one. There's two different ones, a thinner one in this color and a thicker one. I'm going with the thicker one. The thicker one makes the head more stable. I glue it together to create a cylinder shape, and then I glue that on top of my plate. Then it's time to start adding the details to the nutcracker for the hat, the eyes, the eyebrows, all the little details. To do this, I used a mixture of craft foam and poster board. I drew on top of the craft foam and poster board and then cut everything out. I recommend doing this versus painting directly on the poster board, because what happens is if you make one little mistake when you're painting, it's really hard to undo it and color match to the poster board, versus using craft foam or poster board. And then you can cut out these pieces. If you make a mistake, you can just recut something, versus again painting, you make a mistake and then you have to pretty much color match to get rid of the mistake. Dollar Tree also carries stickers and craft foam hearts that you can use to create details on your nutcracker if you don't want to go too crazy cutting things. This was my first time using white foam board to create the nutcracker legs, and the white foam board, you can really see the imperfections in it. So to cover that up, I just take white poster board and wrap it and glue it into place around the foam board. So that foam board gives this a good base to hold the baskets, but the poster board covers up any imperfections. And I get this question all the time. No, you cannot use pole noodles. Pole noodles cannot hold the weight of the laundry baskets. Hopefully this tutorial was a bit more detailed for you guys. Again, you're not gluing the poster board to the wire of the basket, but where the two top baskets meet. I ended up using spackle to create fake whipped cream, and I put that on top of the shoulders to give it that fake whipped cream look. I'll share with you guys how to do that in a moment, but this is how I created this Valentine's Day nutcracker using Dollar Tree products. It is so freaking cute. Now the pink poster board is from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree does carry red. I just didn't want to do another red nutcracker. I love our next DIY. You're going to get the trinket boxes from Dollar Tree and some spackle. Pour the spackle inside of a container you do not eat out of, and then mix in some paint, whatever color you want. You're going to mix it together till you get a creamy consistency. Now you're going to need an icing tip and a piping bag. You're going to put the spackle inside of the piping bag, and then you're going to start treating this like it's a cake. You're going to go ahead and squeeze the spackle all over the heart, creating little designs that make it look like frosting or icing, whatever you imagine this cake to be made out of. I got some fake cherries from Amazon. I put the fake cherry inside of the spackle and I continued piping. Now, I ended up doing something new. I always use spackle as my fake icing. This time around, I made some more trinket boxes, but I used simulation glue, and I got it from Amazon. I got the pastel pack. There's different ones, and this stuff is really interesting. So you don't have to do any mixing. It comes with piping tips, and you just put it on top of the little bottles. But I will say it's harder to squeeze out, but I really like the way that it hardens. It has a really nice shine to it. It almost looks silicone. I've never used this stuff before, so it's a great option if you don't want to use spackle. And it's about the same price as getting a big thing of spackle at the hardware store. It's actually cheaper, honestly. I want these to be little ring holders, so I got foam hair rollers from Dollar Tree, and I'm removing the foam off of them and placing that inside of the trinket boxes. I did have to cut into some of them to make the top foam piece a little longer. This is one of my favorite Valentine's Day DIYs I've ever done. It is so stinking cute, and I feel like it's something that you could sell and make money off of for the Valentine's Day season, or just in general. It's that cute, and it's perfect for all ages. For this DIY, you're gonna need a laundry basket and some party streamers. You can also use ribbon, but party streamers, you get a lot more bang for your buck. You're gonna take your streamers and weave it in and out of the laundry basket till you get all around. You can do multiple colors, you can do all the same type of color. It's completely up to you. On the back part where the streamer ends meet, you could just tape those into place. You're gonna need a pool noodle and some zip ties from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna take my zip tie and I'm gonna start tying it into the laundry basket. And once I have it closed off, I'm then going to slide my pool noodle through that and zip tie it into place. Then I'm gonna bend the pool noodle, bring it around, and zip tie the other end to the laundry basket. I ended up purchasing some garland from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna zip tie the garland to the pool noodle and then wrap it around. I ended up using 2 garlands total. You don't have to do this, I just think it looks prettier. The garland and pretty much everything I'm sharing from here on out is optional. I decided to zip tie one of the tinsel hearts from Dollar Tree to the top of my handle. Inside of my basket, I placed in one of these throw pillows from Dollar Tree and then a teddy bear. The teddy bear is from Walmart. I'll link it down below for you guys, but Dollar Tree recently got in $5 teddy bears. I think the one from Walmart is cuter, but go with whatever you want. Then I got a balloon from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to cut it down and push it into the pool noodle. I got some fake roses and candy from Dollar Tree that I'm placing inside of the basket as well. That's how I made this jumbo basket for Valentine's Day. This is a perfect gift idea that's really easy to do, and if you have young kids, you can take pictures of them inside of the basket and it looks so cute. For this next DIY, you're gonna need candy. So I recommend having 3 of the same boxes for candy. However, somebody in my house ate my prop, so I'm gonna have to use a different box. Though, like I said, I do recommend having 3 of the same. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna attach 3 of your boxes, just kind of creating a triangle. I'm usually not the biggest fan of using hot glue when I'm doing a DIY with actual food, but because these are in boxes, it's okay. The hot glue's not gonna touch the candy. After I've done that, I'm gonna glue my candy on top of a paper plate. Now you can use whatever you have on hand, a paper plate, cardboard, poster board. You just need something at the bottom so whatever you stick inside of here doesn't fall out. I used a paper plate and then I cut off any paper plate that I don't need. Now you're going to need some wooden dowels or bamboo skewers from Dollar Tree. You can even use popsicle sticks. You're also going to need tape. You're going to be placing whatever you're using on the back of candy and then use tape to tape it into place so you can make your candy basically go off of sticks so they pop out of the little box of candy we made. Got a balloon from Dollar Tree. It was a little too tall, so I went ahead and cut the bottom down a little bit and taped that into place. I start to place the candy that is on the sticks inside of the box. I did mess with the sticks a little bit by cutting some of it off, just so I would have different variations of height. I didn't want all the candy to be the same height. Then I got this ribbon from Dollar Tree. It's 3 for $1.25, so you can split it amongst multiple of these projects. So the first box, I only needed 10 items, costing me $12.50. And then the box that's on the right, I was able to use the leftover Twix and Reese's I had from the first box and some of the leftover ribbon. So I only needed 5 more items. So these 2 boxes total cost me $18.75. Just one of these was $19.98 at Walmart. For this next project, get yourself a cupcake pan from Dollar Tree and some of their baking cups. Place the baking cups inside of the cupcake pan. Then you're going to get some socks from Dollar Tree, preferably the Valentine's Day socks, and you're going to roll them to fit inside of each little cup. The best way of doing this is by folding the socks in half and then rolling them really tightly inward. And once you've done that, you just put inside of the baking cup, and it basically is supposed to look like a little cupcake. Sorry again, but if you are watching this on a TikTok account that's not bargain.bethany or Bargain Bethany DIYs, this video was stolen and it's being played on this account to make money off of my hard work. So if you want to support the original person behind this, you can follow me at bargain.bethany on TikTok or Bargain Bethany DIYs or my YouTube channel Bargain Bethany, and please report this video if it's not those TikTok accounts I mentioned, because again, people are stealing my videos and they're making money off of me. I got this pom-pom garland from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut into the string and then remove the pom-poms and place that on top of my little cupcakes, wedging it between the socks, and that's how it stays put. You don't have to glue it in place or nothing. I found these free printables from a blog I'll link down below for you guys. I went ahead, printed them out, cut them, and they're perfect for this DIY. They say you knock my socks off, you rock my socks, different things like that. And that's how I created this cute little gift that is so easy to do, and you can split it amongst multiple people, which is really nice. Moving right along, for our next project, you're going to need a charger and then a bell cloche from Dollar Tree. The hardest part about this DIY is removing the label off of the cloche, because oh my gosh, you don't want to take heat to it because it can start to bend around the plastic. So I had to use Dawn Power Wash, let it just soak on the label and then remove it. Now buy some candies from Dollar Tree, roses, teddy bears, whatever you want. You're going to be putting this on top of the charger inside of the bell cloche. Now, I recommend using balloon glue dots to keep everything in place. So you can use the glue dots directly on the charger and on the bell cloche. The reason I recommend doing this is because you take all this time making this beautiful piece, and once you move it, it all flies all over the place, and then you have to fix it before you give it to whoever you're giving it to. This way, if you use the glue dots, it doesn't damage the product, but it keeps it in place. So if you put this inside of your car, if you're walking around with it, stuff won't move around and you won't have to readjust everything. I also use glue dots to get the cloche to stay down in place. Then I got ribbon and heart picks from Dollar Tree. I did make a small little hole on the top of the cloche. You got to be very gentle doing this. If you don't think you can do it with being gentle, you can always just remove the bottom of the picks off and glue the hearts directly to the top. But I made the hole just so I could slide the picks through it. Now here I am shaking the gift around, and you can see the items inside are not moving. And that's the goal here. You don't want to put this all together. Like I said, go to give it to somebody and everything moves around on you. That's how we created this beautiful cloche that is another great gift for Valentine's Day, and it's a great gift to put together to sell because you can make a beautiful piece for a very inexpensive price and then make some money off of it.
Right now, you can make them for less using these wood heart picks from Dollar Tree.
Go ahead and start painting your hearts. I decided to go with more pastel colors.
I then painted all of my handles white. Once the paint has dried, apply a layer of glue that dries clear. And then on top of the glue, I'm going to pour on some white glitter.
It's time to add your wording on top of the hearts. I'm using a pink color puffy paint. I like it because it gives it a 3D effect. You can always just use regular paint. While the puffy paint was still wet, I poured on a finer white glitter. I got some thinner pink ribbon from Dollar Tree. I wrapped that around the handle of the heart and create a bow. That's how I made these conversation heart picks that are very similar to the ones you can buy at Hobby Lobby, except they cost a lot less money to make yourself.
So get colorful bowls from Dollar Tree. I got a white broom handle from Dollar Tree. My husband is removing the top piece, then taking that end and heating it up over the stove, just enough so it gets hot that it can go through the plastic of one of the bowls from Dollar Tree. In my Christmas video, I did show two different ways of making this DIY, one with this way where you melt the plastic, then another way where you don't have to melt the plastic. I'll link that down below for you guys. Melting plastic can cause toxic fumes, so if you go this route, do this at your own risk. Just be very careful. I can tell you this, both methods work really well in all types of weather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some E6000 and a little bit of hot glue, put that around the rim of one of the bowls to attach the other bowl and handle. Now I wanted to decorate the bottom of the lollipop a little, so I had gotten this tissue tassel garland, and the reason I went with this is because you can cut this down into a bunch of pieces and use it on multiple lollipops. So I'm just tying these pieces around the lollipops, and then I added a little pink bow. I used a zip tie to attach the bow, that way the bow wouldn't go anywhere. To make these more suited for Valentine's Day, I got some heart stickers from Dollar Tree, and I'm just placing them on top of the bowls. That's it. That's how I easily converted these to match my Valentine's Day decor that's going to go outside. I'm going to be doing a sweets theme outside as well. And you know what? If you're doing this for just Valentine's Day, instead of going with the blue and purple colors I used at the bottom, you can go with reds and pinks. Dollar Tree does carry like gift bows and stuff that can go down there in those colors. I love the way that these turned out during Christmas times. These looked so cute, and I cannot wait to finish up my Valentine's Day decor outside with my new sweets theme. Let's make some jumbo lollipops bigger than what you've seen before. You're going to want to get a pool noodle from Dollar Tree. I prefer the white ones for Valentine's Day lollipops, and you are going to glue it together by rolling it in. So slowly roll it in. Use your hot glue gun to keep it rolled in and attached to each other, so you're just getting a swirl lollipop design. You're going to hold it in place, and as you hold it in place, you want to tie it together. I'm using zip ties to do this just because you want to wait for the glue to completely dry, and more than likely you're not going to want to stand there waiting for it to completely dry. So you can use zip ties to hold it in place as you wait for the glue to dry. Once the glue has completely dried, you can take off your zip tie and you'll see that the pool noodle doesn't unravel. Now I'm going to take this chunky yarn that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby for around $3.50, and I'm going to start gluing it to my lollipop, and I'm kind of putting it wherever
2 pieces of the pool noodle meat and those little crevices to help really drive home that swirl design. Inside of the pool noodle, I'm going to push in a longer wooden dowel I got for 99 cents at Walmart. Before I did that, I did use a pair of pliers just to create a hole that's going to be easier to get the dowel through. Dollar Tree carries these craft foam beads. I got the pack that has some more pastel color mix, and I'm going to be gluing that around the lollipop. To glue it down, I'm just using a regular clear glue. Make sure you flip it over something to get rid of any loose beads because you don't want them all over your house. I then painted the wooden dowel white. I then glue a bow to the lollipops. This is actually a satin head wrap I found in the hair supply section of Dollar Tree. I thought it was the perfect color and the bow was already done for me, so I didn't have to do anything. Anyways, that is how I made these jumbo lollipops using Dollar Tree pool noodles. I love these. I have owned them for over a year now, and I just love the way they look.
So that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your favorite DIY down in the comments below. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.